Hi everyone and welcome back. In today's video we're going to be doing a new addition. So I've just gotten back from a private plant sale. So these were plants that were sold from the Cactus and Succulent Society that I'm a part of, the president of that. So made about an hour's drive away from me. I've been there before, and you might have seen a couple of years ago I did a new additions video, and anyways, this is the same person. So it was quite busy. There was quite a lot of people there, so I didn't have the chance to film, and I didn't think that it would be too appropriate either, given that it was somebody's home. So I didn't ask, and I didn't take any video or photos. A couple of friends of mine were there as well, which was nice. So it's a nice drive up in the morning, and then I've just gotten back now. So wanted to show you some of the amazing plants that I got, and I really love going to private plant sales because you find plants that you won't find anywhere else. So super happy to add these plants to the collection, and some of them got some really great history behind them as well. And also shout out and hello to Wayne, if by chance you're watching. Thank you so much for putting on the sale, yeah, really enjoyed it. The plants were incredibly good value for what they are. So anyways, let's flip the camera around and show you what I got and what I'm going to do with them from here. Alright, so here they all are. So I ended up purchasing 9 plants. I've got here a Gymnocalycium denuatum or something like that it's called. Nice little squiggly spines on it, so that's pretty cool. I don't have this particular Gymnocalycium. It's not terribly rare, but I just never got around to getting one. I've got here a Terbiniocarpus pseudo Macrochel or Otero. He's got a little bit of scarring on him, but that's okay, I'm not too worried. Down here, this is a little mystery Terbiniocarpus, and the seller wasn't sure what type it was, but it was only a couple of dollars, so I said I'll just take that as a mystery buy. So I'll probably know in a couple of years more so what it is. Over here, another Terbiniocarpus. This one here is Macrochel Dr. Orato, I think it's saying. Something like that. He's quite buried, so obviously he's thirsty, so I'm going to lift him up, and I'll be fully repotting these guys, so can't really see too much of him, but I'll show you afterwards what he looks like. Got here a nice Gymnocalycium Mahanovici. Again, not a terribly rare plant, but I quite liked the coloration on this guy, so couldn't let him go. I got here Echinopsis or Echinopsis. So I'm going to take all these pups off. I don't like the look of it, but the actual body of the plant is just absolutely stunning. These spines are like little needles. They are so incredibly sharp. Usually you can sort of tap the spines, but these are actually very sharp. Now, in terms of what color it is, I have here on the label apricot pink, which is then scrubbed out, and dark pink is written. As long as it's not white, I really don't care too much, so that's fine, happy with that. This guy in here, absolutely stunning Terbiniocarpus. This guy here has split. I'll just show you on the other side. Just in there, you can see he's split. I'm not worried about that. I've split my Terbiniocarpus a bunch of times. They recover from it very well. The body's still firm. He's still flowering, so if that plant was in trouble, I'll tell you now, it most likely would not be flowering. This guy here, Thalocactus, oh my goodness, like incredibly huge, ferocious, absolutely beautiful plant. So couldn't let this one go. The spines will get a deeper red, sort of pink hues, as I repot it, give it some more to drink. And then the lucky last one is this incredibly ferocious looking beast of a cactus. This is a Sulcorabutia candidae, I think it's called. Incredible. Oh, Oh, you'd think after all these years I would know better, but no, I don't. So incredibly sharp, if you didn't guess that already from my reaction. This guy was actually growing in the front yard, and there was a sign up that said, "If it's in the ground, ask." And I saw this guy, and I thought, well, I've got to ask. So I picked this. This was actually dug fresh out of the ground for me only a couple of hours ago. Absolutely incredibly beautiful plant. And I know that the flowers are going to be pink or red based on the dried up ones in here. I'm expecting the spination to spread out a bit once I've repotted it, let it rest, and then I've watered it. Usually the spines will be a lot more dense when the plant's dehydrated, because obviously the body shrinks in. The spines, however, don't change in volume. So that's it there. That's my little plant haul. I've been buying quite a lot of plants over the last couple of weeks, which is unusual, as I've said in each video, because I usually buy seed. But anyways, look, I'm not going to film the actual unpotting and repotting. I think I've done that a few times now. Of course, if you want to see more of those, let me know, but otherwise I don't want to just keep looping the same content over and over. But I'm going to pull them all out of the pots, brush off all the old soil, give them a freshen up, and then I'll show you what they look like. So let's I'll do a snapshot of what they look like now, and then we'll check back and I will show you what they look like when they're finished. So I thought I would just actually stop in before the final view of the plants, just when I'm in process with this one. So there's a lot of things that I do that I don't really think about very much, and then I realise that if you're not super experienced with cacti, it might seem like something that's daunting. So moving something like this, and these spines are very strong, very, very sharp. So as I mentioned earlier, this was dug out of the ground for me, and I was gifted this pot because I needed one for it. So I just pick it up with my hands, which got me a few strange looks at the sale, but I realise that most people probably aren't going to want to do that. So I've got here a slightly smaller pot. I just put that over it, give it a little, not a push, but just a little wiggle, flip her upside down, okay? And then from there I can do what I want to do with the roots. So that might just be knocking out some gravel, checking overall health. Hopefully you can see. Yep. So the roots are really good on this one. This was an in-ground plant, so it's had no troubles. So I can do what I want with the upside down bit. Just clean her up, things like that. And then to flip it, you need to be careful. There are spikes on this portion, but just here there's not. So that's when I can flip it back over, and then I can clean up, the little bits of muck and whatnot. So just a little tip. That's how I used to move cacti. Now I will just I just pick them up. But yeah, if you're not prepared to do that, use pots. I don't find any gloves work, and newspaper and cardboard don't work either. So I use pots. So hope you found that little quick tip interesting or useful, and I'll see you in a second once all the plants are done. And here they all are, all potted up into some fresh soil. You'll notice that the soil mixes look quite different from pot to pot, and that is because I've obviously adjusted it to suit. Even amongst the Gymnocalycium there will be a variance, but they look absolutely incredible. I mean, they were beautiful plants before, but I always like to see plants converted over into the way that I like to display them. Again, if you're new to the channel, I do not use top dressing. It might look like it, but it's that's the soil mix that runs all the way through, and the larger pieces just naturally will come up to the surface. And this guy's flowering, which I think is quite nice. And occasionally in the gravel you'll find a nice little stone, so that little pink coloured stone there, so I keep an eye out for those and put those onto the top. There's that one here that was mostly buried. You can see the darker portion. That was the bit that was below the ground. I've lifted him up a little bit. I thought he was a little too deep, and also His taproot's already hitting the bottom of the pot, but I don't have another deep pot available. Here's that little seedling, tiny little guy in there. I don't know why the camera doesn't want to look at him. There we go, tiny little thing. He looks quite cute and he's dwarfed by the rocks. So here they all are. So the aftercare for these guys is fairly straightforward. I'll wait about 2 weeks to water this guy because I trimmed all his roots back, just to make it easier to pot up. And that guy will be about 2 weeks as well because his roots were quite would have been shaken up quite a bit during the when he was dug out of the ground. The ones that I'll water straight away, however, are the seedling. I might give actually no, I won't be watering this guy, sorry. This one here I will, and that one I'll just wait a week. So a couple I'll water straight away, but most of them I won't. And then as a little bonus from all of these guys during the repotting, I actually ended up with another bunch of plants as well. So the Gymnocalycium denuatum, or whatever it might be called, had 3 pups, but I couldn't fit them into the pot attached to the mother plant, so I just took them off, and I'll grow them on, and they'll find new homes eventually. And the same with the Echinopsis, Echinopsis. There's actually another, I think 4 pups, but they were very small. All these ones that actually started forming roots, so I'll water these straight away, including these guys here. Mostly because I don't mind taking a bigger risk with surplus plants. Alright, but there they all are. I think they're absolutely incredibly beautiful, and I'm so thrilled to add them to the collection. Out of all of them, this one's probably the standout for me. I think he's come up the best with the repot, remembering he does have that split. But it's nice and dry, it's healed, it's starting to fold in. I'm not even worried. I've split turbs or turbinicarpus all the time. It's not a big deal. They recover from it very well. But nice little flower as well. Here they all are. And from here, these guys are right to go straight into the normal collection. I won't be putting them in shade or anything like that to acclimate them, because I know exactly where these guys were growing, and they're growing in what I consider sort of standard or normal collection conditions. Alright everyone, look, thanks for watching, and as always, happy gardening. Bye bye.